At the height of his fame, Vitaly was one of the biggest pranksters on YouTube.
Pleasure doing business with you, sir. Thank you.
Where you going with my bag, man? What the fuck you doing?
This is not your bag, you're telling me.
No.
Are you sure?
I'm positive. I saw you just come up here and try to take it.
Are you sure? This is not yours? This is not yours.
Maybe I did make a mistake. I don't know, maybe.
Racking up tens of millions of views every single month. To this day, he remains one of the few YouTubers who have ever released a feature film with a nationwide theatrical run. But that meteoric rise came with a devastating fall. The same reckless energy that made his pranks feel raw and unpredictable is now the very force tearing his life apart. Vitaly plunged headfirst into a storm of chaos, controversy,
Back to our breaking news. A man believed to be a YouTube prankster has climbed the Hollywood sign.
arrests, and escalating violence. And right now, he's fighting for his life, facing the fallout of his most reckless stunt yet. This time, it's not just another scandal. It's a full-blown crisis unfolding halfway across the world in the Philippines. He turned an entire government against him by harassing locals, stealing in broad daylight, and blatantly disrespecting the country and its people. And they threw him in a cramped, filthy, overcrowded jail, surrounded by thousands of criminals. And judging by these photos that recently have surfaced the internet, Vitaly looks physically worse than he ever has in his life. All while his desperate pleas for forgiveness are being ignored, rejected by people who now want to make an example out of him. And worst of all, this might just be the beginning of the darkest chapter of his life. Because the truth is, this didn't happen overnight. It's a result of years spent ignoring warnings, brushing off consequences, and chasing spectacle at any cost, finally coming back to haunt him. It's your boy Luesta, and to understand how things got so bad for this once prominent YouTuber, we have to go back to where it all began. Vitaly's first real taste of fame came with his infamous Miami zombie attack prank. In this video, he dressed up as a zombie and traveled to various neighborhoods in Miami to scare random bystanders. The video quickly went viral, pulling in millions of views within days. However, a large part of the attention came from the fact that the prank was built on the back of a gruesome real-world tragedy. And just days earlier, a man named Rudy Eugene had violently attacked a homeless man by the name of Ronaldo Papo in Miami. Eugene put the beats on him until he was unconscious, and bit off most of his face, leaving Papo blind in both eyes and permanently disfigured. The incident dominated global headlines, and the Miami zombie attack began spreading panic and fear throughout the entire city. And Vitaly, fully aware of the horror that had just unfolded, chose to exploit that fear. While the prank gave him his first hit of internet stardom, it also set the tone for the rest of his career, one built on chaos, controversy, and a complete disregard for pain and consequences, as long as it delivered shock value. So he kept doubling down. From his Russian hitman prank, where he staged a bomb threat, telling strangers they had 60 seconds to run,
Yes!
to women abused in front of cops prank, where he faked scenes of domestic violence to test public reactions.
Hey, stop! I told you, listen to me! Listen! Why would you do that to me? What? Listen!
You'll see the irony of that later in this video. And even a series called Disturbing the Peace, built entirely around provoking strangers for reactions. Each video dug deeper into pure degeneracy, feeding an audience that didn't care about the consequences. They just wanted brain rot. And as long as the views kept rolling in, he convinced himself that he was untouchable. By 2019, Vitaly had hit the 10 million subscriber milestone, becoming one of the most recognizable faces on the internet. But building a career in this way definitely came with a cost. Over the years, Vitaly found himself in trouble with the law more often than most other pranksters.
A prank that a Delray Beach man thought would go viral ended up getting him arrested. After being arrested for a bomb hoax, police say while his friend videotaped it, Vitaly went up to a man outside of Publix in Boca Raton saying there was a bomb in the briefcase he was carrying. He is being held on a $3,000 bond.
But he treated these arrests like achievements and turned his criminal behaviors into clickbait, like in July of 2014, when he grabbed international headlines by storming onto the field during the FIFA World Cup finals between Germany and Argentina, turning one of the world's biggest sporting events into a shameless publicity stunt.
Hey guys, it's
about to happen, I'm about to go in the middle of the field, World Cup finals.
Then, in May 2016, he was arrested once again, this time for climbing the Hollywood sign as part of yet another spectacle.
Back to our breaking news. A man believed to be a YouTube prankster has climbed the Hollywood sign.
It may all be a stunt, a man climbing the Hollywood sign. Sky 9 shows him waving a flag that says, "I'm back," which then flies away.
Yeah, Tim, he climbed the letter D. You can fill in the blank with your own adjective. He is now standing in handcuffs.
Over the next couple of years, he'd continue pulling in similar stunts. He streaked during Game 4 of the NBA Finals in June 2016 and sprinted onto the field during Game 5 of the World Series in October 2017. But by early 2018, Vitaly's YouTube career had begun to spiral downward. After a fallout with FujiTube, he was exposed for faking his pranks.
I'm gonna dissect every single thing you've ever said about me, and I'm gonna expose the out of your ass. You said I do the fake pranks. You said you're the 1% that doesn't. You're the one who taught me how to do fake pranks when the first video I ever did was filming your fake prank.
This is something that he was eventually forced to admit himself.
So FujiTube just tried to expose me. Okay, yeah, fake pranks. Everybody knows that. I already admitted it. When Kim started exposing you for faking pranks, you told me that you wanted to take a and shoot him.
Around the same time, YouTube also rolled out major changes to its partner program, which was following the infamous Logan Paul Japan video. This era is known as the Adpocalypse, where the platform started imposing heavy restrictions, demonetizing hundreds and thousands of creators overnight. Among these, prank channels were hit the hardest.
Every single video on Dose of Fusi for like the first week and a half after my return after a 3-month absence was getting 1 million views. And then I check how much the 1 million views were worth. It was like shut off. My channel was like not getting the revenue that it once was.
With ad revenue gone, these channels were left without their primary source of income. Desperate for a new stream of revenue, Vitaly started looking outside the box. Later that year, Vitaly launched his own OF-like adult site in late 2018, where he promised to post even more outrageous content that wasn't even allowed on YouTube. But in promoting it, he started dragging others down with him, turning the people closest to him into props for his cheap publicity stunts. For example, he had his own girlfriend streak at the UEFA Champions League final in 2019. Then, he convinced his own mother to streak as well at the Cricket World Cup final later that same year. All the while, he slapped the name of their website across their clothes in hopes to promote the website when the story hit the media. The platform, however, flopped miserably. Despite the stunts, the hype, and the shock factor, it was eventually shut down completely. Vitaly never mentioned the platform again, but this didn't stop his reckless antics. Because for him, it was just another bump on the road to success, barely enough to make him tap the brakes. In January 2020, he was arrested again, this time in Egypt for illegally climbing the pyramids of Giza.
I just wanted to let you know, live your dreams to the fullest. It's your life, your choice. Do whatever you want. I don't want to curse because I'm in the Holy Land. I love you so much, world. Thank you, universe.
He spent 5 days locked up in an Egyptian jail and still walked away with no serious consequences. Over and over again, he flirted with disaster and somehow managed to come out every time with barely a scratch. And after years of this, Vitaly had become addicted to pushing the limits and was convinced that he was untouchable. But that was about to change soon. Because in April 2020, Vitaly finally pushed his luck too far, and this time, there was no getting out of it. On April 12th, Miami police received a disturbing 911 call from one of his neighbors.
Somebody's outside beating the out of somebody. Lock your doors and windows and do not let the person in. Are there any weapons involved? No. No, he's just beating the out of somebody. Okay. Female on the ground. He was punching her in the face left and right.
When officers arrived at the scene, they quickly discovered the suspect was none other than Vitaly himself, and he was immediately taken into custody.
Put your hand on the car, man. No, put your hand on the car. Just lean on the car, man. Lean on the car right there. Put your hands behind the back. That's all you got. Put your hands behind the back. Put your hands behind the back.
Good. I'm sorry, guys.
According to police reports, Vitaly had consumed a dangerously high dose of psychedelic mushrooms. The drugs triggered intense hallucinations, which caused him to leave his home. Once outside, he saw a female jogger on the side of the road. He suddenly jumped in front of her, tackled her to the ground, and began putting the beats to her face and chest repeatedly. The attack left her with several facial injuries, including a deep gash above her right eye. Vitaly was charged with aggravated assault, and days later, the victim filed a lawsuit against him as well. She ultimately ended up winning, with the court ordering Vitaly to pay over $155,000 in damages. More importantly, news of the incident exploded across the internet, shattering his public image and sparking severe backlash. I remember when I used to watch this guy every week, ashamed of what he turned into. Vitaly is probably the most disgusting YouTuber in my opinion. Sad to see there was a point in time where he was genuine and authentic. He should have known when to stop. Following the incident, he kept a low profile for nearly 2 years. He barely uploaded any content and disappeared from YouTube completely. That is until he posted a comeback video on Facebook in July of 2022.
What's good, people? I wanted to do this video for a long time, but I simply wasn't ready. And I wanted to let you know what I've been going through in my life for the last 2 years and why I stopped uploading videos.
In the video, he spoke openly about his wild past, owning up to the reckless behavior that had defined his career.
And I was hanging around wrong people, the fame got to my head, I started abusing drugs and alcohol, traveling the world with beautiful women, you think it's all cool, but at the end, I wasn't really happy. Because of drugs and alcohol, I got into serious legal trouble. A legal trouble that I'll remember, regret, and have to live with for the rest of my life.
And for what seemed like the first time, he actually apologized for his actions and claimed that he was back to become a better creator.
And I'm here today to apologize to all the people that are listening to me right now, to the whole world, to all the people that are let down. I'm so sorry. And I wanted to let you know that I'm coming back to do what I love the most, making you laugh, inspire, and share my creativity with the world. And I couldn't be happier to share this video.
However, anyone who took his words at face value was about to be sorely disappointed. Over the next year, he uploaded a handful of videos where he went back to his roots. But despite his promises of change, it was the same tired formula: be a nuance, provoke people, and cause a scene.
I scared myself. How are you?
Yet, despite having over 10 million subscribers, none of his videos even cracked 200,000 views, which is barely 2% of his audience still watching. While that may seem decent for most creators, for someone who once pulled in tens of millions with ease, it was a crushing fall from relevance. The truth was that YouTube had moved on. The era of prank-based content was dead, and nobody wanted to see a washed-up creator trying to revive a genre of entertainment the internet had no longer cared for. But there is a new toxic trend rising in its place. IRL streamers were gaining notoriety by harassing strangers and turning public disruption into content.
Don't put your hand in my food again. Do not do that. You don't do that to people.
All right, to say you should never have kids. Shut up. Police? Call the police, stupid ass.
We got out of there, motherfucker. Let's go.
Watch your language. There's kids around here.
I didn't say any curse words.
You got a stupid shirt on over there.
Your kids can't read, though.
What are you talking about?
Your kids can't read, can they?
I'm sure your kids watch.
Get away from me.
You started talking to me, buddy.
Get away from me.
You get away from me.
In many ways, it wasn't all that different from what Vitaly was doing for years. Only now, he had to do it live. Sensing an opportunity, Vitaly made the jump to Kick in early 2023 and began streaming regularly. And in a surprise to absolutely no one, his streams quickly devolved into the same old degeneracy. He'd wander through public places, walk up to strangers, and harass them.
Excuse me, girl? Hey, girl. Where'd you get these boots? They're fucking hot.
Rick Owens.
Rick Owens, shit. How much can I pay you for these right now?
Right now, no.
Yeah.
What am I going to walk away in?
Huh?
What am I going to walk away in?
Oh my God. You're a little boy. I love it. I'm here for one reason and one reason only. To pick up black girls like you and eat them out like there's no tomorrow.
And start public altercations just to bait reactions.
I'm out here. I'm out. Oh, you're not going to the car. Go, sit. Give me all your cash. Give me all your cash you got. Give me everything you have.
But when even these antics failed to bring him the attention he so desperately craved, Vitaly moved on to his next spectacle. In 2024, he launched a new series of predator hunting streams.
Yo, I'm the father of this kid. You understand? Shut up. This is your father? Yes. I'm your father. What are you doing?
I like how cheap.
Hello, sir. Dimitri, sir.
he began collaborating with other big streamers and celebrities like Aiden Ross, Ryan Garcia, and even Akon, who he got to perform his hit song Locked Up while the Predator was getting locked up.
Locked up, they won't let me out. He's about to get locked up. Stops patrolling, and let him stop me, and I get locked up.
The plan was to carry out sting operations targeting suspected PDF files. They'd pose as minors, lure in targets, and then confront and humiliate them live on stream. And the humiliation tactics would range anywhere from shaving their heads to forcing them into boxing matches, and some downright bizarre punishments.
Open your mouth. Good boy. Good.
Good boy.
But the internet loved it. Viewers simply enjoyed seeing predators get exposed in real time. The streams brought Vitaly a wave of renewed attention, earning him hundreds of thousands of new followers on Kick. And for the first time in years, Vitaly was back in the spotlight. But behind the applause and viral clips, something didn't sit right. As the series gained traction, viewers began to notice that Vitaly and his team rarely involved law enforcement. This is something that other notable creators in the space often did. Take Skeeter Jean, Gideon, or Predator Approachers, who more often than not call the police in every one of their streams and videos. In other words, most of the predators they confronted were never actually arrested. On top of that, throughout the confrontations, Vitaly would shamelessly plug his gambling sponsor, often mid-conflict.
What's going on, puppy? What's your favorite number?
7.
7? Okay, click it. Click, click. Good boy, I'm cashing out. You made me 500, not bad.
It became increasingly clear that these streams were never about doing the right thing. They were about theatrics and turning some serious crimes into monetizable content. And once again, Vitaly had proven that virality was all he ever truly cared about. But this non-stop chase for clout and chaos would soon push Vitaly to take his antics overseas, leading to a trip that spiraled into a nightmare darker than anything he'd ever experienced before. At the time, travel live streaming was becoming the hot new trend, with streamers like iShowSpeed breaking viewership records by broadcasting their adventures abroad. Seeing this, Vitaly decided to try it for himself, and on March 27th, 2025, Vitaly moved to the Philippines, hoping to kickstart a new phase of his career through travel streaming. And true to form, he used his own mother as clickbait to announce these streams. That said, at first, things didn't look so bad. He visited some of the less developed areas of the country and handed out various items to help locals.
I got you the printer.
Thank you.
Computer.
Walang hanggang pasasalamat ko.
There you go.
However, this philanthropic side of Vitaly was short-lived. In the very next stream, titled Disturbing the Peace in the Philippines, he was back to his usual antics.
Can I make love to you? Sexy time. Kiss, kiss. LOL.
Can I have your number?
No, sir.
Okay, next time. So I took it and my pee-pee won't go down. What do I do?
Release yourself, nice.
Do you think your wife can help me?
Within just hours of going live, he was already harassing anyone he came across.
What the? I'm gonna eat your dog. Excuse me? Excuse me? Excuse me? Excuse me? How much to sell your dog to China?
Including every security guard he could find.
No? What are you gonna do? Hello. 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 I have a question for you. Can I give you a kiss? No, I have a question for you. I'm the new general in town, mother. Sir, listen to me. Dispatch. Dispatch.
And when he couldn't get the sort of reactions he wanted, he escalated his behavior from annoying to straight up criminal. He went on to try to steal a motorcycle in broad daylight.
Hulihin mo, kuya. Hulihin mo. Hulihin mo yan. Hulihin mo yan.
He's not chasing me.
He then followed this up by stealing a fan from a restaurant.
That's my only fan left in the chat. Since I don't have any fans, since I fell off my only fan, bro. I buy this in the store, what? Bro, this is my fan, I bought it, okay? Bye. Bye. There's a problem, you can talk to me later.
And a light mask from the store. At one point, he even went as far as threatening to rob an elderly woman.
Excuse me, madam. I'm gonna rob you if you keep walking away.
But when the lady reacted negatively, he casually offered her money.
I want to give you money. No? Okay. No. Okay, because you got a COVID mask, you liberal
The thing is, Vitaly seemed convinced that he couldn't get away with it all, that his fame and money would protect him as they always have. Unfortunately for him, he couldn't have been more wrong, because the consequences were waiting for him like a ticking time bomb, and soon, he'd pay the price with his freedom. What makes it worse is that he had every chance to turn things around. Soon after those first dreams, clips of his disgraceful actions went viral, causing outrage from all directions of the internet. The audacity, the disrespect. This behavior is unacceptable, even if you are a famous streamer. During one of his streams, he was even confronted by another travel vlogger known as Unlock Philippines. He tried to help Vitaly understand the severity and potential fallout of his actions.
When we come here and we have power, like we stream and we show people that we have influence, what would it hurt you to take someone and build them up here as the locals instead of because there's been videos about you that have come out and they've been showcasing the bad things that you do, but what about the good? You show up in a country like this and you have your team start around, they f you over, right? What happens behind the scenes when you're interacting with people here and you're messing around with them? I know it's a joke to you, but for the people here, they work hard, bro.
But instead of backing down, Vitaly threatened him.
A literal piece of shit.
Perfect, amazing. Jesus loves you too. Let's go.
Okay.
Don't touch me before I knock you the f out.
You're not gonna knock me out.
Oh yeah? What are you gonna do?
I guarantee you're not gonna knock me out.
Yo, back off.
Yeah.
Oh, what are you gonna do about it?
It went right back to harassing locals and disrupting small businesses for content. Though it wouldn't be long before he had regret ignoring Unlock Philippines' warning. Vitaly's luck had finally run dry, and his reckless rampage came crashing down when the Philippines police arrested him on April 2nd, 2025.
Good evening, okay? Here's your Miranda rights, okay?
Sir.
You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you in any court of law. Sure.
And just a few days later, on April 7th, he was brought on national television alongside the country's Interior Secretary, and he was formally charged for his crimes.
Also this morning, Secretary Remulla presented to the media the Russian vlogger who's been detained by authorities for harassing Filipinos at Bonifacio Global City in Taguig.
He was hit with multiple counts, including unjust fixation, trespassing, theft, public harassment, and unauthorized video recording. Appearing on national TV in handcuffs should have been enough to make him realize the gravity of the situation. But right from the very start, Secretary Remulla made it very clear that Vitaly wouldn't be getting out of this situation anytime soon. He will remain there for now in the Bureau of Immigration Detention Facility while he awaits his trial here. We will not deport him. He will be held accountable under the law here in the Philippines. He also revealed the government's intention to make an example out of him. The time when foreigners could just disrespect Philippines is over. This is an example that we are serious in our own country. We will not let them belittle us. To make matters worse, even the president of the Philippines published a video of himself reacting and condemning Vitaly's outrageous behavior.
Biro man ito o hindi, sino naman Pilipino ang hindi pupuno ang dugo sa napapanood natin. Isang naging bahagi na ng social media na nagkakaroon ng mga vlogger na nanggugulo lang, nang aasar lang, nang buwisit lang, nang babastos lang para makakuha ng mga viewers. Huwag tayong sasama dyan sa ganyang klaseng ugali. Hindi naman ganyan ang ugaling Pilipino. Asahan ninyo yung mga gumagawa ng ganyan, hindi natin.
But what truly sealed his fate was when both countries he had citizenship in, Russia and the US, practically refused to take him back. The Russian ambassador even made a public statement formally declining any help. With that, all hope for Vitaly was gone, and now he's left completely alone to bear the full weight of the consequences, fueled by his own reckless hunger for chaos. What lies ahead is far worse than anything he could have ever imagined. According to multiple reports, if Vitaly is convicted on all charges, he could face up to 24 years in prison. The most serious among his crimes is theft, particularly his attempt to steal a motorcycle. That one act alone carries a potential sentence of up to 20 years behind bars. Authorities are currently in the process of collecting evidence to build the strongest case possible. And considering that Vitaly streamed nearly every crime he committed, there's a high likelihood that at least some of the charges will stick. But even if they don't, Vitaly is already receiving a punishment far worse than some time behind bars. Because as a foreign national awaiting trial, he's held in the Bureau of Immigration's Bigoton Detention Center, a facility that's infamous around the world for its awful living conditions and is often referred to as a modern-day gulag. It's a severely overcrowded jail, crawling with rats, and has appalling hygiene conditions. Dozens of inmates are crammed into tiny, sweltering cells where the air is thick and has a stench of sweat and filth. And in a recent interview, Secretary Remula explicitly stated that Vitaly will not receive any sort of special treatment in the detention center either.
He has no access to a cell phone. He has an access only to a cell phone to contact family or attorney. He is not allowed to vlog about anything which goes on inside the detention facility. He will live on the national stipend of 3 meals at 70 pesos a day. He will not get special treatment. He will live in a common cell while an air conditioner.
To make it even more terrifying, he also indicated that Vitaly could potentially remain trapped inside the facility for 2 to 3 years before his trial is finished.
I think that hearing the civil trial, I don't know, it's civil criminal, maybe it's criminal, it will maybe last 2 to 3 years. Then the minimum charge, I think, will be 5 years per guilty verdict.
That's because the Philippine justice system is notoriously slow, with courtrooms overwhelmed by a massive backlog, resulting in proceedings dragging on for years without resolution. Now trapped in a nightmare of his own making, Vitaly is finally facing the consequences of a life driven by recklessness, spectacle, and complete disregard. And unsurprisingly, the internet has no sympathy to spare. That's crazy, but this is why you don't go to foreign countries and commit crimes. Huge W. Some of these IRL streamers think they're untouchable just because thousands of people are watching them. You can't expect to fuck around at a foreign country and expect nothing to happen. I don't often wish ill upon people, but this guy deserves the worst. As the criticism piles up, the physical toll Vitaly is facing tells an even darker story. In images released on June 17, 2025, it was clear just how brutal the past few weeks have been. He had lost drastic amounts of weight and appeared to be a completely different person. Some people speculate that the change is because he no longer has access to body-enhancing steroids. Others believe the weight loss is due to the meager food portions in detention, with prisoners reportedly surviving on just $1.20 worth of food every day. However, along with his physique, his demeanor has also seemed to have undergone a major transformation, from the smug arrogance of his mugshot to a face now filled with remorse and desperation. And that desperation has been seeping into every attempt at escape he's made since. By the end of May 2025, nearly 2 months since his arrest, Vitaly wrote a personal letter to Secretary Remula, begging for forgiveness and asking for the charges to be dropped, claiming his mental health was deteriorating. But this plea was flat out rejected. Similarly, just days later, his attorney appeared in an interview on ANC 24/7, claiming that Vitaly was suffering from severe psychological distress due to the conditions of his confinement.
He's better now. I'm saying better because he was not really good before. He's in a very bad place, emotionally, psychologically. So he was really not doing well before. Nang nag-visit ako one time, before he was able to say hi, he just started crying and couldn't stop crying.
The attorney also attempted to downplay the severity of Vitaly's actions, and that his behavior was merely a misguided attempt at comedy.
Everything that he did wrong was done in jest. Wala siyang criminal intent. It was tasteless jokes, pranks, yung violation kasi ng revised penal code. Most violations there would require that there's criminal intent, but wala po talaga siyang.
But when you're disrupting peace, harassing locals, and threatening people to provoke a reaction for your live stream, that excuse falls apart almost instantly. In the same interview, the attorney also claimed that Vitaly was now a changed man, that he had experienced a spiritual transformation in the detention center, and requested forgiveness from the Filipino people.
He's now better because he found his faith. Nagbabasa na siya ng Bible. I brought him for devotion, daily devotion, and he's doing better, and he's just hoping that when the time comes, may siya ng opportunity to ask for the forgiveness of the people he offended and also of the Filipino people. You know, we are a Christian nation. We believe in forgiveness, and I hope na dumating tayo doon because this guy is really a changed guy. And she wants to seek forgiveness.
But once again, the timing of this sudden religious awakening and public apology feels far too convenient. After years of mocking consequences and pushing boundaries for content, it's hard to believe Vitaly is suddenly remorseful because he understands the damage he caused, and not just because he's trapped, with no way out and no clout to save him this time. At this point, no one's buying it. Not the internet, not the courts, and definitely not the people he disrespected for views. The law is the law. No excuse for breaking it. He is old enough for his wrongdoings. A sorry and asking for forgiveness is part of his drama. Using kindness is not an excuse for his actions. And don't bring religion into this. We may forgive, but we don't forget. And we will not tolerate anybody taking advantage of our hospitality. Yes, we are a Christian nation, so let God forgive him, but let our laws be upheld. In response to the public outrage and the broader impact of the case, the Philippine government had also begun enforcing new privacy laws to protect civilians from low-life streamers and content creators. These new regulations now require creators to blur the faces of bystanders in their videos and live streams and get explicit consent before recording anyone in public spaces. But as the government writes these new laws, the nuance that inspired it is still deep in the thick of it. As the legal process finally began to move forward on June 11th, Vitaly was transferred from the custody of the Bureau of Immigration to the Bureau of Jail Management and Penology. The move was necessary for him to face local charges of unjust vexation, which had been filed in the regional trial court. He was expected to remain in custody until those charges were resolved. Over the following week, Vitaly made several attempts to secure bail, and on June 20th, he was finally granted it. However, before he can get his hopes up, any chance of him walking free during the trial was crushed to the ground. Instead of releasing him, authorities moved him straight back to the immigration detention center, stating he will not be allowed to roam around, as he is already seen as an undesirable alien. And with that, it is now confirmed that Vitaly isn't getting out anytime soon, at least until the trial is concluded, and given how things move in the Philippines, who knows how long that may be.